Welcome back. It's time to turn on dark mode. We're here to talk working in IT, video games, tech, and everything outside the 9 to 5. I'm one of your hosts, Keegan Lassard.
And I'm one of your hosts, Taylor Floyd Muse. It
Hey,
appears that you haven't died yet.
you are correct, sir.
You
And I'm
don't have
healthy. I'm
the
healthy.
Mexican beer virus.
I do not. Although, dude, there was a company by our office in Overland Park that literally had like 2 confirmed cases, and they shut down for like a week. So like everyone's like, oh my god, get hand sanitizer. Like I'm not just wash your hands, dude. Just like calm down.
And nobody's
Wash your hands.
buying Corona beer anymore. Their sales are down like 50% or some shit.
You would think this would be like now, like it's a terrible thing, coronavirus, but you would think like the whole saying no like bad press, right? You would think people would like be like having Corona weekends to, drink
Okay,
Corona.
you would say you would think, but I heard something. All right, I cannot confirm this source, but I heard it was from a form, whatever. I heard from a friend. They were like, I read this article, and I was like, are you sure it wasn't from the Onion? He's like, no. They were like, they offered the World Health Organization to change the name of the virus from coronavirus, $15 million because their sales were down, right? And then they're like, we also offer you $50 million if you change it to the Bud Light virus. And I'm like, there's no way that's real. He's like, yeah. Dude, just think about the blood.
I'm just thinking that like someone thought like
the Bud Light virus.
no, what I'm laughing about is the fact that somebody in their organization was like, hey, we have this problem. I got the solution. You ready? We're gonna go talk to the
You're gonna do your
CDC
competition.
or to the WHO, and we're gonna be like, hey, you mind changing it for us? Good job, Greg. All the CEOs are like, good job, Greg. Great solution. Great solution. There's no way a corporate exec would be like, hey, like, I get it, pandemic, that sucks. But like, can we change the name? Like, I know Wall Street's suffering, a lot of corporations are suffering, but like we're just trying to sell beer. So if you guys could not, that'd be great.
That would be helpful. Either way, it is a funny joke. No matter what you cut it. Like if they've renamed it to the Bud Light virus, that would be great marketing.
It really would. They should release an ad. Like if their sales are down, release an ad that's funny and push it on TV. Like people are dying, but like have a Corona. That should be the that should be the hook. Yeah, people are dying, but like
no, it
just
should
grab a
not.
Corona.
Yeah, people are dying. Have a Corona
Corona.
with your non-dead friends, because they're always like, find your beach, find your group,
Find your hospital.
find your hospital, find your local liquor store, and get you a Corona non-virus.
Like the dude just in the doctor's office, and the doctor's like, you have coronavirus. And he just goes out in the waiting room. All of his friends cheers him, and he's like, boom, it's like a Corona and commercial. Find your hospital. Get tested now.
Another friend told me, if you get coronavirus, you might as well get Lyme's disease. Oh my gosh.
That hurts.
The headbutt of the mic. Wow, that's how we're looking right now.
I mean, that happens when we record. Like, you don't see me very often, but that happens.
You headbutt the mic all the time?
Oh yeah.
Am I that
If you say
bad?
something- no, but like sometimes you'll say
I'm
something
hurt,
that gets me
bro.
frustrated. Dude, our debates get heated sometimes, so sometimes I resort to the headbutt on the mic to like not yell into the mic.
I just yell into the mic.
Yeah.
I'm over
Oh,
here
geez.
like, all right, I'm gonna need you to hurry up so I can clap back. But
Yeah, like anytime we talk console wars, it's just an ongoing thing of frustration.
yeah, we'll chat about that a little bit, just a little bit. But I wanted to talk about how, like, you know how like everything right now is getting canceled and postponed because of this concern. Like,
Yeah.
has your company formally addressed it yet? Because I got like the email like, okay, hey, this is like a real thing. Like we should start taking these precautions.
Oh, you mean like within the company? Okay.
Yeah. Just like if you're feeling symptoms like, yo, don't come into work. Like we need you to like quarantine yourself.
I don't think we've had like a super formal thing. I think they've had like, you know how like most companies have like a they have like a homepage when you pull up like a browser and it's like has their news or whatever. Have you ever like you don't have that at your
Okay,
company?
yeah. I mean,
So
we don't have
they
a
have like
homepage
news
like that.
articles to like pay attention to, and I think they released one where it's like just be cautious, if you're sick, be sick, go home. But no, we haven't had anything like try to work from home if you can, or anything like that. To be honest, uh, the bigger thing is like they're just since my company works with like audience members, right? It's like they're trying to calm the fact that people are like not, going to public spaces that we'll still be fine and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, I think that it is convenient though that being in IT, you have the ability to work from home. Like let's say if you are sick, you just don't want to spread the common cold or whatever. But like I've
yeah.
been joking like, yo, let's nip this in the bud. Everybody work remote for a month. Just stop spreading shit and
All right,
we'll
I'll be back at the office in July when they figure this shit out.
July. It's gonna be that long. I mean, E3 is on cancellation watch right now. Like we
Dude,
might
yeah.
not be able to go.
And then Sony backed out of PAX East too.
So it's definitely starting to cause a little bit of worry for
And
public gatherings.
James Bond also moved their release date of the new movie that's coming out in April to November because of their like quote unquote global climate. But AKA they don't want to release a movie because they're afraid people aren't going to go to the theaters anymore.
I'm upset about that. I was looking forward to it. That was next month. And they're
Yeah.
just like, psych.
Psych. Not going to release
I
until
mean,
November.
I'm gonna go to the theater to watch it.
Not till
Like I'm gonna
November,
go
you aren't.
watch another movie probably tomorrow. I want to go see The Invisible Man because you said that was lit.
Oh, let me tell you what.
Wait, hold on. Do you think The Invisible Man's immune to the coronavirus because he's invisible?
No.
So if you sneeze on him, well, actually, they
That's
said that
it's funny
doesn't
bring
get
that up.
you. It doesn't get you infected, right?
It's
You
funny
just
bring
touched
that
your
up.
nose. You're infected.
Dude, when they released that, like touching the face, I'm like over here, like that's
You
weird.
literally, you're rubbing your eyes and shit. Like you literally were like, "Yo, let me tell you how you get infected." Rubs nose. Like everybody can't stop touching their face. Like I take the L to work, bro, and I am literally just like hands out, like don't touch me. You know, like I'm
Hands
back
out for
into the
the
corner. We'll start wearing gloves.
But it's funny you bring up the Invisible Man because that is his weakness in the end is coronavirus.
Getting
So
sneezed on?
no, I'm just that'd be funny though if that was like
Is that how they
his
reveal him though? They sneeze on him and then you see the
and
floating
then
snot driblets?
Yeah. That's
That's
exactly what happens.
fun.
And then
That's
just
fun.
says Finn. It just ends. The Invisible Man was really good. Like if you want to see him, like I can't explain this. It's a whole different type of horror movie.
All right,
Like
cool. Story done. Like I'm gonna go see it. I think honestly we should hold back on talking about it because I want to see it and then I want to be like,
oh, you want to hold off on the review until you see it and
bah.
then we can both talk about it?
Yeah, we'll just say that you saw it. You said it was lit. I'm gonna see it this weekend, and then next weekend we can be like, I thought it was good too, or trash, or whatever.
I'll give you like a couple sentence like overview of my thoughts without any spoiler. Fair?
Okay.
All right, cool. So what happens at the end is
Oh,
No,
get out of here! Disconnect phone call.
so this movie though, I feel like it left me in the theater so like Us was nothing in comparison to me. Like this
How
level of
do you mean those words? That's a bold statement. If us was nothing, because you were like eating us up. That was a
basically
weird sentence.
this movie touches on domestic abuse as the main point of horror so well that like it really like struck a deep chord of like disturbance while watching the movie but left me on edge the entire time because like yes he's invisible and that's like the main horror of it but at the same time you're like fully invested in what emotionally she's going through so the entire movie is like hard to get through but yet you want to see what happens so like
So
I
it's
was
a
talking
little bit more of like the psychological thriller or horror than the jump scare cheap crap that happens and stuff.
and there's still jump,
Well,
stuff
there's
like
obviously
yeah.
going to be some of that, but
It was great. You should see it immediately,
probably
and we'll
see it
talk about
tomorrow.
it.
Why not?
Okay, yeah, do it. I'll go see it again.
Ah, you need to chill.
No, I want to see The Way Back with Ben Affleck.
Don't know what that is. What's
It's
going
the
on?
basketball movie where he's like an alcoholic coach.
I haven't seen any trailers
It's
for
your
that.
it's your typical basketball like comeback story, small school,
Little underdog
shitty
story
team.
for you for your
I'm a sucker for
emotions.
those type of movies, though. To be honest,
I mean, they're always fun. So
they're always good. They're always feel good.
so the coronavirus delayed some things, but it has not, or at least I don't think it would have an effect on the fact that Sony is stalling right now with the PS5 news.
It's not coming out.
It's just done.
They're canceled.
They canceled it. They put it back. They ripped up the blueprints and
Actually,
they said we're done.
PS5 is the reason coronavirus was a thing. So that's why they're like, oh, it's a bad PR. They're like, we caused it. So don't buy a PS5, buy an Xbox.
It wasn't from the fish market in Wuhan. It was from the unreleased PS5.
That's what they were selling. There was the unreleased PS5.
It was one of those "what have we created" moments, like they do
Yeah,
in
and they're
Resident
like,
Evil,
destroy
where
it.
they're like, "We just created an entire biohazard."
Yeah, and they like destroy it immediately. It was too late.
Okay, but on the real though, PS5 needs to be.
Yeah, they dragging their feet hard.
Dude, like people were like, February is gonna be the time. That's when it happened every other time. Like, why haven't they done it?
Packs. They have so many opportunities.
Like,
They got to
dude,
get it up before E3.
they just need to drop a video. They can even live stream it from their damn studio. Like, we don't need to have it be people present. Just like show us that it exists, fam.
You're not satisfied with the new logo as the release, the teaser?
Dude, the
for
new
it?
logo is groundbreaking. Great design. Like we already talked about it. We already talked about it when it was announced, but like I still have to reiterate how great their design team did. Like,
you're being
really
sarcastic, right?
really took a lot of time. Like that was like
yeah.
a couple month long project. Just to
Dang.
brainstorm. Just to
Yeah, oh,
brainstorm
yeah.
and come up with
Just
the fact
the
that they want it in an
FRDs.
increment from 4 to 5. Like,
Get the
huge.
FRDs out there.
Revolutionary.
How much do you think they spent on that?
Time wise or money wise?
Money, dude.
Because
like,
if any money was involved in literally pressing backspace and then the number 5, it's honestly baffling to me.
I guarantee you they hired like a graphics division or like the part of their team, and they probably assigned them the
There's
new PS5
no way,
logo.
bro. That I just don't
Dude, I'm telling
believe
you,
that.
We both work in corporate America or in corporations. They spend money on stupid shit all the time.
Okay, yes, but
Guarantee
it's
you.
not like with an updated logo. Usually, you get like a whole new thing, like just the name of your company stays the same. They literally changed the number. There is like no design with it. There might have already been a pre-created font that they had made years ago. Like the money probably was spent years ago. Like they've already, they've already got the
like all the way out
copyrights.
to like 9.
No, they already have copyrights out through that just in case. Like they have copyrighted PS6 through I think 10. And even though they say that PS5 is most likely the last console, they still have the copyright to that in case they're like, yeah, psych, we're going to make 5 more.
So my counter argument to they've already paid for it is then why would they have that big like
Announcement?
unveiling? Yeah.
Because they're teasing us, bro. They know what they're doing. They're toying with us because they're like, we got big news for you, big reveal. We changed the 4 to a 5. And it's just, like I said, pressing backspace and pressing the 5 that was created years ago, probably. Like, the font was already made. If you had to look at that 4 and then make what the 5 would look like, that's what it would be.
Is it just to like gather the hype train more and then influence more leaks? Because that just pisses me off. Just release. We've already been through leaks and how I feel about them, but like, what? I just don't see what they gain from like dragging their feet so hard, and then
I don't
because
have
it's
an
gonna come out
answer.
at the end of the year.
I
You
don't
know
have
it's
an
gonna come
answer.
out.
You don't, because it could be delayed.
So they're just about to let their competition release a brand new console with nothing else in the market space, bullshit. They're gonna release at, if anything, early or within the same time as Xbox.
Hold on. Xbox is not immune to the coronavirus either. They could also be delayed. All that shit's made in China. All of it. Or at least has resources coming in. If PS5's delayed, Xbox 100% is too. Maybe not by the same timeline.
Okay, delayed, but versus like releasing the information of the actual console is different. That's I'm talking purely on the
just on the front information.
Just because Xbox has been in the space of here's our, because Xbox always focuses on the hardware,
which is a mistake.
We can I don't want to fight about that, but
we'll talk about that in another episode.
They basically lay out everything about their console, and then therefore articles are being written about Xbox's console. Game developers can start talking about like what they could do with it, because we just constantly hear next gen, but we don't actually know what that could mean. And so all this stuff is gathering around we already know. Whereas PS5 is still this mystery. They're still trying to hype up this hype train, but there's no information. And I'm saying, to me as a business, you are losing news space. You're losing all kinds of different conversation lanes. Whereas right now, Microsoft, say what you will about exclusives, say what you will about the past, is dominating. If you go onto any major video game site, it is all about what can the new Xbox do with the game developers. Whereas PS5 is like, everyone's like, why? And then they wait, and then they look at their screen, hitting refresh as many times as they can until they can see a leak, maybe a design, would be performance, could be the first exclusive, could be's all over PS5. And right now, Microsoft this will be in our hardware, and that's gotta impact something.
I have two things I want to say. First of all, PS5 hasn't not released anything. When they talked about their logo, they confirmed the main specs, like, oh, okay, it's gonna have 8K and support and like 120 frames support, blah blah blah. They did a couple other things. They just haven't shown you what it looks like and all that. But it's really nothing about what happens beforehand. It's what happens afterward. You know, when they have MMA fights and they have the whole big lead up and all the marketing and the bullshit, and then you get in the ring and that dude that they thought was gonna get like messed up, he just whomps the other dude in a couple hits, and it's like, all right, ding ding, fight's over. That's what I'm talking about. I think PS5, they're so confident, they're literally just like, I think this might be to a flaw. Like, they definitely are dragging their feet too far, but they're also kind of like, we're in a good spot, our shit's selling itself, people already kind of know what to expect from us. We really don't have to just be like, here it is 10 months in advance, freak out.
Yeah, and I don't want to get on the whole console war side of it. I just wanted to get what I feel about where we are with the press of the consoles at this point. I think Microsoft's in the lead just because here's what we know. But yeah, I kind of forgot that PS5 honestly released most of their specs, but like, that's just the problem, is like, I don't know what it looks like.
It's in a weird misalignment right now. Like,
I want to know
the point where there's a lot of articles like, yo, Sony, are you guys alive? Like, we need to hear something.
Coronavirus. My thing is, I just wish, I don't know, that I wish that they would release it, because then we could do a full console war. But
here, let me say a little something to the audience real quick. Keegan and I were talking, and obviously we're doing a little bit of like preemptive console war talk, but like, we want to do an episode where we kind of have just like an end all be all to the console war up to like now, before the new consoles come out, and then kind of do like a follow up once the new consoles come out and we have a time to like try them out and see what's going on. Just because I feel like we often hear like little bickering between consoles and stuff, and it's like, all right, we're tired of hearing that. We just want to do it like one and done, and then a follow-up later, instead of just like always talking about it. But it's kind of hard not to, because as soon as somebody's like, yo, so like, what do you think? And it's just like, you slap out ideas, and it's like, I feel strongly about it.
Whenever I look through the consoles, I had to look at their business decisions with the console and where they're going.
Mhm.
So like even though that's where my brain goes to first, like regardless of exclusives or hardware, I want to know how they're going to implement and what they'll do within the future. And I don't know. There's a lot of factors in what I want to discuss on that. But yeah, I want to have an episode where we can deep dive it,
Oh, we will.
and because then at least people that like the audience can then get a baseline of where we're at. Even though, yeah, I was a Microsoft Xbox user up to this point and PC gaming now, and like your PlayStation is just and see how our opinions change because that's how they'll know. They'll know if I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, PlayStation's lit. They'll be like, wow, yeah, if Keegan's on board, okay.
Yeah, because
So
it'll be a nice little like have things change. Like I'm open to the fact, like, let's say PS5 comes out the gate and it's like, okay, they have their exclusives and stuff, but like Xbox now is worth owning. I'll be like, okay, shit, I'll go buy one. But like, I'm not going to be doing that day one because
yeah,
that's a lot of money to be just like buy both consoles in the same year. But I'm looking forward to it. We'll probably have that conversation in the fall, I'm thinking, because that'll be kind of a cool like hype soon before, unless like I said,
yeah,
shit gets
and if it's
delayed.
the fall and Sony still hasn't like released shit, that's
Bro, if that's the case, like it's not coming out. Like that at that point I'd be like, yeah, we're done. But you know what's funny? I've been seeing a ton of articles now because PS5 isn't like doing anything.
right.
People have taken a look back to the other most successful PlayStation, the 2. I'm seeing a lot of articles right now like, let's take a moment to just appreciate how dope the PS2 was. It's like we're really hankering for some PS5 news so bad that we're looking back at that stuff. And it
You guys are
was
just glancing over PS3.
yeah, because
Like,
PS3 didn't do as hot. All right.
because it's like, yeah, we'll just forget about that. Those years that we
Yeah, I mean,
sucked.
Xbox hurting pretty hard too. They're selling 60 million less than at PS4 right now, so they're gonna look back over Xbox One in
Okay,
the same way.
I bring up PS3.
Especially
You
if,
bring up the
especially if Xbox Series X is just like a killer console. It's gonna be the same way where they're gonna be like, yeah, you remember those years from like 2013 to 2020? Yeah, forget about that.
say what you will about the one series. I'm just gonna call it the series because there's S, X, whatever. They were good consoles.
Oh
I
yeah, I'm
had
not saying they're horrible.
zero problems with my day one edition Xbox One that's right next to me right now, and I still use.
You
So
give it a little pat. Good boy.
yeah, I'll even put the sound effect.
No, turn it off. I don't want to hear that.
But I mean, I had no problems with them, and I don't know. There's a lot to be said, and I could go on a ramble. And I personally don't think the PS2 was better than the Xbox original, but that's just me. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Scoreboard, bro. It's only the best selling console of all time. Of all time.
Okay.
Like that's I don't want to like I'm saying I don't want to get into the whole like which is better, but I was reading an article where they were like part of the reason why the PS2 sold so well was because at that time like DVD players were like a popular new technology and they were
Yeah.
like stupid expensive. Like right now a DVD player is like all right, $40 new
Yeah,
or
I
something.
forgot about
They
that
were like
factor.
$600 or something when they came out. And then the PS2 was like, nah, we are that and a console and we're less. And people were like, gimme. Like even if you didn't play games, you could get that for cheaper than buying an outright DVD player for a time.
Total great business move.
One thing I wanted to say, this is like not at all like a dig to anything.
Are you
When
about to call me ugly?
no. When the
No, okay.
PlayStation 2, oh yeah, I mean you are. So you said
Okay,
it.
cool.
Everybody was big into that game, Shadow of the Colossus. I never played that, but they just released it for free on PlayStation Plus for this month as the remastered. And it was like when they announced it, PlayStation, it was like their most liked tweet of all time. So like people were real pumped to see that. And
What's
I'm
the game?
actually
I've never heard of it.
so it was a game in the early 2000s where, or maybe it was like mid to late, I don't know. Essentially, you have like this guy with a sword on a horse, and like it's the kind of game where like the story just kind of tells itself. There's no like major narration kind of thing. It's just like it's kind of just like an artistic game, Anyway, there's 16 colossuses, like bosses that you have to like find and then like find the puzzle on how to kill them. And then like there's like, why am I doing this? What's going on? And it kind of explains it over time. I know like one spoiler to it, and that's kind of surprising. After like over 10, 15 years, I only know one little part. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to play it because everybody's like, it's worth playing now, and they did the remake, and people say that's even really good. So I'm gonna keep you updated on that because it's a short game. It's like probably like 6 to 10 hours, depending on how long you take to travel around and explore. Because
wait, so you're not gonna play Wolfenstein?
No, I told Keegan, like, I was watching, I think it was like girlfriend reviews on Twitch play a game, and it was Wolfenstein, and I was like, I really overlook these games. I want to play them. He's like, where is this coming from? And I'm like, don't worry. So like, random. I'm not going to buy it because Animal Crossing and whatnot. But
the thing is, we weren't even talking prior. It's just I looked down at my phone, like I was about to go to bed, and I just see a text from Taylor's like, Wolfenstein, though. And I'm like,
I love doing that because sometimes you do that to me. You'd be like, but this new game, though, out of nowhere. And it's just, it throws a whole wrench and everything. But, I will play those eventually, but I'm going to try out this Shadow of the Colossus game, and I'm kind of excited because, I mean, it's just all boss fights, and sometimes games like that can be fun, but we'll see how it holds up after so many years.
I have a feeling, though, that this game has, like, an increase for your frustration zone if it's all boss fights.
Yeah, but it's not Dark Souls, where, like, you literally have no fighting chance the first time. Like, you could most likely get into a fight, and if you're like quick enough to figure out the puzzle, beat it on your first try. And there are going to be some bosses that are harder than others, but like, it's almost kind of just like on you to figure out the puzzle, not so much be skillful with combat. You know what I mean? Okay. So
that's interesting.
I don't know. It's a casual game. It is definitely not like a get good or you suck. You know what I mean?
Did you play Shadow of Mordor?
I played Shadow of Mordor, but not Shadow of War, the new one. Because I got that in a Humble Bundle too, and that's chilling in my library right now, but I haven't had time to get to it. But I also have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I think I'd want to play that first, just because I played the other two, and I just want to see where it goes. But I don't know, dude. I got so many games, and the fact that I like forget to cancel Humble Bundle, they keep giving me new ones, and it's like, oh yeah, I should play that. Oh yeah, I should play that. Speaking of which, I played some random indie game called The Warlock Project, and it's like kind of like an old school Doom feel, fast paced Twitch shooter.
I saw that.
It is honestly so much fun. I was playing it for like about an hour or so, and it came in my Humble Bundle, and I am enjoying it. It's like kind of a roguelike, like you do levels, and if you die 3 times, you start from the very beginning. But you can get upgrades, and I don't know. I'm having fun. So
Humble Bundle literally is the best, worst thing to ever happen to my library. I have an entire category saying eventually should play, but probably won't. And it's just a ton of uninstalled games.
Yeah. I mean, I got a category called uninstalled, and then I got one called Humble Bundle, which is essentially probably should play, but probably won't. But I don't know. We got lots coming up the pipeline, and not enough time.
Unless we quit our jobs.
Probably not. I like my new job. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, see, I'm playing some games.
I'm a content creator now.
That makes no money yet. Yeah. We should get an ad. Just one.
Who do you think would sponsor us first? Like
Blue Apron.
If we were successful.
Blue Apron. They sponsor everybody. Blue Apron, hit us up, please. How's it going?
Yeah. Hey, Blue Apron, right here. Link.
You always like to do that. They're like, this is where it's gonna show up. In the post, I'm definitely gonna have to like put something there when we actually do get an ad, so it looks like you did the SpongeBob imagination. Here's our ad.
Yeah, I guess Blue Apron does sponsor like literally every podcast.
We'll go for them.
We'll
go for the easy low hanging fruit to start. Watch us get denied. Like, yeah, we don't like
that you called us low hanging fruit.
Doesn't like Joey Diaz like absolutely bash on them while he's saying what they do? Or there's definitely some podcast host that does that.
I skip through ad reads.
Okay,
Whoever
fair.
listens through ad reads.
Well, if they keep it short enough, I'm not gonna mess with it. Like if it's like a 10-second, that's not worth me skipping ahead.
I will say on Your Mom's House with Tom Segura, when he does Manscaped ones, they are the funniest ad reads ever.
Okay, yeah, we're definitely getting Manscaped on here too.
That'd be great, yeah. If we get the Lawnmower V3 or whatever.
We'll try to get the multi-million-dollar McDonald's deal later in life, though.
Oh, yeah. I can't even eat McDonald's, but I'll be sponsored by them. McDonald's, get it gluten-free bun.
Remember when you used to just eat them despite the health risks? Oh, what a time.
Remember that episode of How I Met Your Mother where like Robin finds out she like can't eat lobster or whatever, and so then they're basically saying why
now she wants it because she can't have it.
That I went through just like once I found out celiac is like, okay, I need to eat all the gluten and get it out of my system. Drink beer, be reckless, eat some nugs.
Be reckless, eat some nugs, bro. I had a friend recently that tried to eat 80 nugs at work. At work.
80?
On his lunch break, he went online and typed in McDonald's.com or whatever the online order and put 80 let's say this. He put 4 20-piece chicken nuggets in the cart and a large Shamrock shake. $4.28 some.
Yo, the Shamrock is back.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I thought I told you this.
No.
Because I've actually told you, hold on. I've told you this story off camera and you didn't give me that reaction. So that must have gone through your head because you were so focused on the fact that my boy ate 80 nugs.
Can I say one thing? The fact that he ordered McDonald's online is ugly. McDonald's is already fast enough. Why do you have to order it online for pickup?
I don't know.
Or did he get it delivered?
No, he went to pick it up.
That is.
But no, hold on.
So weird.
If you're about to go clean out their whole hot and ready nug section, you might want to let him know you're on the way. Because he said he had some issues because they didn't give him all of the nugs when he left the thing. He's like, I don't think they understood that I actually wanted 80 nugs. They only gave him like 40 to start.
Was there anybody like at work like, yo, I bet you can eat 80 nugs? Or
I don't know. I asked him why he did it, and he's like, I don't know. I just wanted to. Anyway, let's not get hung up on the why. I think maybe it was a slow day in the office. I texted him because he was putting it on his story live. Like, I saw him like, oh, I just ordered 80 nugs. I'm like, absolutely 0% chance you make it through that. You top out at 50. And then he gets through, I see this updated story. He gets through 40. He's like, I'm hurting. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I'm like, all right, let's see how close I was. And then I get another snap like, I had to call it at 60. I am ruined. So yeah, he just had like an extra 20-piece nug. And he zooms in on his untouched large Shamrock shake that he still has to drink. Like, oh man, I don't even know where he puts it to because he's smaller than me and really skinny. I shouldn't say really skinny. He's not like lanky, but like I don't know where he put it.
Bro, that pisses me off where like people have metabolism where they can do that.
Dude,
and then I think about McNuggets, I gain 2 pounds.
Yeah, dude, he must have a lightning fast metabolism.
Okay, because I remember when there was the 50 McNugget challenge, right?
Yeah. Well, he did it, but probably not in the time though.
He's sitting at work, and we all hit that point around 10 where we're like, what am I gonna eat for lunch today? And it's morning. And he's like had coffee. and then he's like, I'm gonna eat 80 McNuggets for lunch. Like lunch is not that big of a meal. Did he eat dinner that night? Because I
don't think so. I think he was ruined for the rest of the day.
Did he get fries with it?
No. I think he knew that there was no way. I just think it's hilarious that he got a large Shamrock shake. Like he was confident in himself that he was going to eat 80 nuggets and have room for that shake. That shake is thick. Not to mention the large. So like you usually can fill up off that shake alone after getting like a small little snack.
We should have just counted up how many calories that is.
Because about like 3,000. About 3,000. But like he probably ate about 2,500.
Of McNuggets, not counting the shakes.
Yeah, because I
The
think he
shake,
probably had like a sip or two of the shake. Like when I saw the shake, it looked like it just came off the freaking press. Like he did not. He zoomed in on it, and I was like, "Yeah, you ain't eating that."
the shake though has like at least over 1,000, right, by itself, a large
Mm,
one.
we need to find out. I need to
Okay,
know
while
how
you're
many.
researching that, the other ugly thing that's the when you were telling me this is I was like calculating in my head how expensive it would be to order 80 McNuggets from McDonald's.
Yeah, I told you it's $28. That's a lot to be spending.
Like, if you're gonna have a $30 lunch, like go get a steak, or like you could go so many places. I went to Joe's KC for lunch today, and like I could have had just a feast of like phenomenal barbecue for $30. Like, and he ate 60 not really chicken nuggets.
Yeah, you definitely could have had better food for $30. Like there's absolutely no
I just
reason.
don't get it. He must. What is he like? I want his job where I can just sit at work and be like, I'm gonna eat 80 McNuggets today and not gain a single pound.
I mean, I guess you could do that. If you want, no. I am not saying you could do it and then be comfortable. He realized that he fucked up. Like he's not denying that. I'm just saying you have a job and you can eat at the job, so you could technically go get 80 nugs and just get after it.
My last part was and not gain any weight.
Oh, but then the job has nothing to do with your weight gain. The
Yeah,
metabolism.
fair.
4-piece has 193.
4-piece does
10 pieces has 480. All right, so we're sitting pretty at
480
960 calories. So for a 20 piece alone, a 20 piece alone, already. This
So
is tough. He had 4,000
like
calories about.
without the shamrock. And did he
So,
just did he
bro,
throw the shamrock out? Like, let's just say he ordered 4K of calories, and then the large shamrock he ordered, like
but he
regardless of
also
finish eating.
didn't eat all of the nuggets. So we're
I
saying
know, but like this man ordered it thinking he could eat it all, and he's like well over 5,000 calories. So he's out here eating close to 3 days worth of calories in a lunch.
yeah, it's tough. You're just sitting there doing the I don't even know how to react.
I don't even know. Oh, jeez.
All right, do we got anything other than the food you want to talk about?
I mean, I have a funny
was
story
that?
about my dad, I guess. I mean, he wanted me to make him a meme.
What was his request?
He called me he likes to call me when he's driving back from places because he usually has to like go to like Tucson or something, come back.
Yeah.
And he's in the car with his buddy and he's like, "Hey, we got a great idea for you." And I was like, "Oh, another like business idea or something." And he just does like this cheesy joke. It was like, shit. I can't remember what it was like. Uh, I'd be I would be more open-minded if you didn't have such a big head or something like that. And like it was just based on like one of their coworkers having a large head. And he's like, "What can you do with that?" And I was like, "What?"
He
It was
wanted you to make
just
a meme off that context.
it must have been like his buddy in the car said the joke or something. And he's like, "Oh, that'd be a funny, like you could put that on the internet somehow and make it funny." And I was just like, "Okay, let me get this straight. You want me to?" And I was like, "You want me to make like a motivational poster joke, like like the kittens like hang in
Yeah.
there?" He's like, "No, no, like you just like find a picture of a guy with a huge head and then put the text around it." And I'm like, "So you want me to make you a meme?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah, yeah." Like,
He's describing a meme without realizing.
and granted, like I don't want to beat up on him too bad, but it made me laugh really hard just the whole process of it. But then I'm realizing like, you know what? I'll make it for him. So I'm gonna make him this meme and send it so he can send it to his buddies at work because he's gonna kill it. But
They're gonna love it.
oh, they are. But the thing is, I was laughing at it because I'm like, you know what? This man looked at all my shitty kid art macaroni bullshit and said, "Wow, it looks great." So least I could do is be like, "Yeah, that'd be a great meme." Like, you're right, Dad. Like, it'll be great. This is my time to replace. Hey, thanks for telling me I was so good when I was a kid, and I'll make you the meme. It's funny. It's funny.
That's great. Dude, dads are funny though, cause like my dad is like in his 60s still playing video games, and for Christmas like I bought him two games that he was kind of showing interested in. It was Resident Evil 2, the remake, and then Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And cuz they had the cross play, he could play with me on his PlayStation and my PC. And I was asking like, "Hey, you got a chance to like get around to it?" And my dad doesn't work in the winter. He's in like construction. So he's like,
Okay.
"No, like I've just been kind of hanging out." But then one day he opens Resident Evil and he's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm really liking this. Like this is fun. Thanks." Like it's bringing back the memories because he played the original when I was like a tot and scared me.
Gotcha.
I
Trauma.
get a text at like 5 in the morning, like, or no, it was probably 4, I think, the first time. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just going to bed. This game is like really addicting. Like I couldn't put it down."
At
And
4?
so then like he goes to bed, and this is the start of his nocturnal stretch. Then like he beats Leon's chapter, and they have Claire to play too, and she's got a different story, like a different spin. And he's like, "Yeah, so I'm gonna start Claire today. I'm gonna try to go to bed at a reasonable hour though." And there's a little bit of silence, and I'm like, "Dad, think about
Every
it.
gamer.
It is a new story in the game that it was just as addictive the first time. You're staying up till like 6. I get a text as I'm waking up for work.
No.
Yo." "You were right, buddy." Like I stayed up real late. It's really fun. Anyway, he hammered that game out fast. We'll say that. So I was like, "I'm really glad you like it. Like, great." Like
That's impressive. I don't know if
yeah.
I could do that.
So like he woke up at like 1 in the afternoon, and I'm like, "Are you just nocturnal now?" He's like, "Yeah, I think I need to like change my schedule back." And I'm
Why does
like,
he just
"Yeah."
play during the day?
Well, he does, but then like he would just not stop, and I'm like, "All right, cool." Like,
That's like saying though, like when you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get to bed at a reasonable time." Like, "Oh, I'll just play one game of League."
oh yeah, like we're laughing, but like we did this, so it's not like it's a hypocritical thing. It's just funny because he's in his 60s. Like I just love it. Like I just like, "All right, Dad, like you do you have fun." And then he took a little break, and he plays a lot of Madden, but I guess Madden doesn't have that much of an effect on him. He's played it for literally since it came out, like Madden 99 or whatever the first one was. And
I want to play your dad in Madden, to be honest.
you got to get a PS4 though. Until they do crossplay, yeah. But
Yeah.
he was like, "Yeah, I haven't gotten around to Call of Duty yet. I think I'm gonna pick it up like next week." So he picks it up, and it wasn't as late, but he did the same thing where he just like grinded. It was a double XP weekend when he started. So he went from 0 to 55, which is like the last level you unlock stuff, in like 4 days. And I was
This
like,
man deserves an award of some sort.
and he was like, he was enjoying it. And he had some sort of issue where like he accidentally bumped because he plays like at a desk, so he accidentally bumped the eject button, and it like corrupted his file, and he was like freaking out for a while. And I was like, "I really don't know how to help you fix it." But then we did like a fresh install, and it put it back. But he was like worried that he was gonna lose his levels. He was like 40 levels in, and he's like, "Son, like I don't think I'm gonna play it again if I lost my progress." like I think that's it for me. And I'm like, "Please be there." And then he turned out like, I don't think he lost anything because it's saved on the server. So
okay,
but it was too funny because he would click the game and it would just like perpetually load, and he's like, "Uh-oh." But
yeah, that's the worst one. Like I remember I accidentally picked up my 360 when like I nudged it when there was still a disc in it.
uh-oh.
And all I heard was like what sounded like a car accident of scraping metal. And I was like, probably not good.
Yeah,
Open
you
the
hate to
disc.
see
The
that.
disc is just has a perfect circle in it. Worst experience ever.
Like a scratch around it. Yeah.
Just like etched in.
That's yeah, they say you're not
Big.
supposed to move the console even when it's off with the disc in it, but I've definitely done that a lot and haven't had any issues, but I probably should stop.
360, the white version. So I had three different types of 360s. I did that when it was off. The disc got stuck behind the disc tray.
I hate to see it. Like,
I
did
had
you ever
to,
get it
I
out?
had, I
Take
had
it
to
apart.
take it apart and had to remove the disc, and the disc was just absolutely messed up.
What game?
I believe that was when I was okay, hold on. I don't know what
Oh,
game
we're
it was.
taking a trip back
I gotta
down memory
think.
lane.
My gut wants to say Halo Wars. Cause when I played on
That was
the
out on the 360? Is that old? Oh yeah,
Halo
because
Wars
Halo Wars 2 came out
came
more
out, yeah.
recently. Yeah.
And I mean, chances are if you saw me playing on the 360, I was either playing Black Ops or Halo Wars, like religiously.
Yeah. Fun times. Fun times for sure.
I know you don't care, but there was definitely some huge news recently with Baldur Gate 3.
Doesn't there have? Doesn't there have?
There have
Isn't
hell of a
there
sentence.
is? Anyway, is an S supposed to be present in that name? It's not Baldergate, it's
Dude,
Baldur's.
why do you always roast me on that?
Because
Sometimes?
you
Like,
don't know the plurals and stuff. You call Divinity Original
no
Sin.
sins.
Z. It's
Yeah.
not there.
Sin.
And then this game has it and you omit it. Anyway, yeah, I actually saw it. I watched the live
Wait.
stream.
I didn't even watch I couldn't even watch the live stream at work.
So I'm one-upping you in nerdism right now.
That kind of
No,
hurts.
I'm just joking.
But it was huge. I watched that whole gameplay reveal.
Have some news.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Related to what I'm
considering
saying?
buying it, all right?
Like day one.
No, because they're going to do early access and I don't want to
Okay,
get
day one
I don't
release.
Yeah, maybe, depending on when it comes out. But like
That's actually
the
surprising.
early access Baldur's Gate comes out in a couple of months. Like that's what people are saying, like probably summer, and that's too early. And I don't want to get into a game that involving and in depth when it's in early access, because if they make big changes, that'll affect me mid-run. Like this game is going to release pretty much unfinished.
No, it's more or less that well, in that regards, yes, but the main thing that you have to consider for early access that I think would bother you more than that is that what they say by early access, meaning they're going to release the prelude and part of Act 1.
Okay, so
That's
it's not going to be finished. It's literally going to be a finished section of the game.
There it is. So
I am not on that.
Divinity Original Sin 2 did the same thing where they literally just gave you Act 1 that we played.
Yeah, I'm off that because that's what Final Fantasy's remake is doing too. The Final Fantasy 7, they're releasing the first part, and it's like, dude, just give me the whole game. I want it when it's done, you know? Like I'm gonna wait to get it when all three are out.
Because once it's actually fully released, you'll have to go through it.
Either way,
I'm doing day
I was
one.
like, I had some fun with Divinity, so I think I'll play it, but only with you because I don't want to have to crash my way through that game. I kind of want you to figure out the kinks and then guide me through it. All right, that's how I'm gonna enjoy it.
Valid. But to give news to people that don't know what Baldur's Gate 3,
oh, because it is like some nerdy stuff.
It is a infamous series. Baldur's Gate.
Infamous? What a great game.
Was that a great game? That was a PlayStation exclusive.
Was that a great game? I don't know.
Honestly, I never played
it. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. It was just kind of fun.
Okay. It was like Prototype, right?
Yeah, but I think it came out first. It came out at a similar time, actually. I don't know.
Taylor. Now we're getting sidetracked. All right. Baldur's Gate. Originally role-playing, integrated with D&D, came out in the 90s. Yeah. So everyone loved the first and second game. They remastered the first game, and now they're releasing Baldur's Gate 3 with Larian Studios with full integration to D&D 5th edition rules, realms, and that world. It's going to be amazing. I'm
I
super
don't know
pumped.
what any of that means.
D&D 5th edition?
You said a lot of things, and I was just like, okay. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's the level of nerdism I don't venture into. I'm ready to be guided through it.
D&D is Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I know, Keegan. I'm not privy on what the rulebook 5e means and all the things that happen. I'm just gonna roll for initiative and pray, all right?
Hey, you're already
I'm already there. I'm a pro, huh?
We're there. Good right there. All right. But 5th edition always means is that's the latest rulebook set. So like,
but like, why are they making different changes? Like, this is like a
it's the same way that you would update a game. Like they're updating.
No. It to me, it more reminds me of when they update a coding language. They're like, this is the next iteration. Here's Ruby 3 point whatever. Here's D&D 5.0, but it's 5.e.
It's different. It's like if you play on 3rd edition, you're playing on a completely different mechanic. Like there's things that is in 5th edition that's not in the previous ones. Like 5th edition has disadvantage and advantage rolls and stuff like that, which they brought up in the gameplay trailer that is going on behind the scenes. And you can either turn it on or leave it on, and you can see what the rolls are, which rolls are in reference.
Like all of these memorized?
Not memorized, but since I've started
you're pretty knowledgeable on the differences. Do you have a favorite set of rules to play on?
Well, I'm playing on 5th edition.
But like, you know a little bit about 3rd. Why?
I researched it. I accidentally bought the wrong edition of rules. And
amateur move, my guy. What are you doing?
You want to see how thick the rule book is on D&D?
You're using it to hold up your mic?
Yeah. See like how thick it is? I mean,
that's a textbook.
It's literally a textbook.
Bro, no. This is where it's like, that is too much work. That's where I need the guide. I need the teacher. I'm not going to just sit there and read the textbook.
Guess what? You can play the cool version of D&D, which is playing Baldur's Gate 3, where you don't have to worry about all those intricate rules and role playing that you would in D&D. So if you like Baldur's Gate 3,
you still do need to kind of have like grips on it.
Yeah,
they didn't even have the tutorial finished for the demo. That tutorial's about to be fat.
Yes, but I think you've learned Divinity Original Sin 2, correct?
Yeah, because you point, click, and fight. There's no added rule book textbook that it's based off of.
I'm saying that Larian Studios helming this, you'll be fine going towards the rules and mechanics of this game. It doesn't change that much. You still have a certain amount of movement and action points is the same as the last game.
I'm gonna be completely lost. I'm gonna lose all hope.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna go out either way.
When they had it online and they showed the gameplay, it literally, I thought I was watching DLC for Divinity for the first 5 minutes because I came in a little late to the stream and I'm like, oh, like this looks like Divinity stuff. Like maybe this is just like an announcement beforehand. And then I saw like a Mind Flayer and I'm like, this is the game, Baldur's Gate 3. And I'm like, this looks like the exact same thing down to the sound effects, the menu, the UI. I thought they were going to change more. And it's like, I didn't feel that. And I was just kind of like, that's not necessarily a bad thing because the first game worked, but I was expecting more of a complete change up because it was a different game. Like, I kind of thought it was more like, okay, you know how like Call of Duty is made by different developers, but they all make the same feeling game. This is like the same dev, and I thought they were going to be like, hey, we're going to mix it up a bit, but it was like kind of like an iteration of another Call of Duty style thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like the same mechanics with just like a small variation in UI. And I just was like kind of thrown. I was like, oh, I'm going to play the same game, but in a different universe.
I see that observation, but at the same time, this game, Baldur's Gate, was given to Larian. They got the IP for Larian Studios to develop it, and before Baldur's Gate was a real-time RPG with pause. With pause. And so now Larian Studios has their own engine for what they made Divinity Original Sin 2 on, and it was super successful, and in my opinion is a far greater chance for RPG elements and displaying out how the combat actually works in D&D. Cuz you can't just walk everywhere and do actions whenever you please. You have to go within a certain whatever, right? It is similar to Divinity Original Sin, but to me, if it is an enhanced version or it's a DLC with a different, then like okay, because Divinity Original Sin was an amazing game, so like I don't see that as a problem. Now I see it for you as a problem because you were hoping for some sort of twist on Divinity Original Sin 2 that you haven't seen when you're playing now to buy this game. But for me, as a fan of this type of game, I'm just super excited to dive into this new world, a new opportunity to do game mechanics that I love in Divinity Original Sin 2 in this new way. And also it's more in depth than Divinity Original Sin 2, with all the incorporation of spellcasting like mage hands from D&D to now you only have like one main action you can do per turn. They implemented shove, jump, and different also minor actions along with what they already had in place with their game mechanics. So, and they implemented the spell slots and cantrip idea, which is a D&D rule as well. So I'm beyond excited, and if it is just a Divinity whatever DLC, then to me, I'm like, sign me up. You already sold me when you said Baldur's Gate 3 made by Larian Studios. I'm like, they can't do wrong. They can't mess this up.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just from the most basic change, I expected the UI to even look different. Like it
does.
Not too much. Obviously, those little extra mechanics you add need a place on it, but if you take a look side by side, they really are not that different. Like, let's say you play another turn-based game. It has its own feel, right? It's going to have its own UI. Obviously, it still has like the hotbar and other similar turn-based mechanics. Like when you play a shooter, you always have an ammo counter and a gun selection, but they have their own art style. I don't know if it's just because they're both in medieval. They look the fucking same to me. Like I was literally just like, the only noticeable main change was the fact that there's now cutscenes. And I'm like, yo, I like that. It adds more character. I'm not going to get bored of just like reading text all the time because there's going to be some more voice acting and animation going on.
What about the third person camera view now?
Bro, the camera is not third person. Third person is here. That shit was way up there still. Like,
yeah, but it's
okay. The camera,
it's better.
You know, hold on. You know how you're like, why would anybody use the tactician mode? Because it moves the camera from here to here. The camera moved from here to there. It's such a subtle change that it's really not what I would call a third person video game. Like, it was just like, okay, cool. You can zoom in a little bit. I'm like, great. I actually want to zoom farther out so I can see more. Like I was running into that problem on Divinity where I was like, I can't see enough of what I'm trying to plan. Make it zoom out farther. They're like, nah. Wrong way to think. Zoom in farther. Okay, thanks. But I don't know. I'm just getting little bits of like, I expected something different. I will play it with you and I'm probably going to enjoy it. But I'm just saying, I feel like it's going to get stale fast for me because I'm going to feel very close to the game I just came off of playing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I obviously cannot fully judge it until I play it. And like, I honestly am kind of excited to play it because like you said, there are improvements. So it's not like they didn't listen to any changes that could have been made. They made the necessary improvements, but I just feel like if you look at them side by side, they really didn't change much.
Okay.
But we'll see when it comes out. You're going to have it in early access and they're probably going to add extra shit too. Like I bet you they make other updates because even between you playing Divinity and me downloading it to play, they added like huge updates that like changed the course of the game.
I was like, what?
Like where was that when I was playing? So like I know they're going to do that, especially since it's in early access, but
yeah. And I mean, and to be fair, like we're talking all these video games right now, and it's refreshing because honestly, the past like I don't know 2 to 3 weeks, I haven't been that focused on video games.
Yeah.
Like I've been playing like maybe a league game here or there and Satisfactory, and that's about it. Like it's
Just
big
got other
hits. I
things
need to
going on.
I need to hit the ground. You know, get to some of these games.
You're just gonna hit the ground. You're not gonna hit it running. You're just
I'm
gonna go
gonna
smack. You're just gonna belly flop.
yeah, I'm gonna hit the ground. Like I'm gonna be like laying in those like gaming beds that they're gonna be start making.
Dude, that is honestly, that is how we're getting closer and closer to Wally.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
the first step. We're making beds that you don't have to leave. Next thing is gonna be, oh, they move now. Oh, hey, we're running out of place for trash, which we already are. Hey, there's Wally.
Like it's gonna be like segways that are beds, which is literally what Wally is.
I don't want to even think about that. That's a bit much. Like I'm gonna be a little bit concerned if we.
I mean, that'll be our like kids generation. So.
And you just don't care about your kids. Well, they don't exist yet, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have like cyber technology in my arm when I'm like 90. Like I'm gonna be so guns blazing by the end of the road.
Well, you made the poor choice of wearing green highlighted clothing, so you're currently missing pieces of your shoulder. Just toss it in there. Toss some little cybernetic upgrades in that void on your shoulder.
You mean to tell me if like they're like, hey, we can put a phone in your wrist, you won't do it?
We already had this conversation. I'm not putting nothing in my body.
You should. You should reconsider.
Yeah, a pacemaker if I need it. But I don't need it to make phone calls.
Oh,
man. You done?
Yeah, I think so.
You don't got nothing else to say? All right, that's gonna do it for our episode then. We got Keegan's lighting improved. I hope the audio quality is a little bit better.
Are my hands ghosts again this time?
The frame rate isn't ideal. We still got some improvements we can make.
No, this is it.
We are finished. You said it last time. We got one bad episode, and we already blew it.
It's only up.
No,
it's only
like
up
we
from
need
there.
to quit. No, I'm just playing. So yeah, hit us up on the Facebook that Keegan still did not make for us. Where is that? And Twitter, Instagram at Dark Mode Podcast, and our email is still a thing with very empty, sad inbox.
Sadness. It's actually really sad, guys. You need to liven it up a little bit. Throw some questions in there. You know,
throw them
at Dark Mode
like
Podcast.
And yeah, hopefully he can finally make that Facebook because
tonight, apparently,
you should do it live. Like, yo, this is proof.
It's up.
But yeah, we appreciate the listens and we hope to keep making more and more content. Lit content. Always. The absolute most fire nerdy content.
We're number one.
Where? That's the kicker. All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.
Catch you in the next one.